Garage sale season is upon us, and I thought I would take this opportunity to share 10 things to be on the lookout for when you're out garage sailing or yard sailing. Hey, I'm Lee Meyer, and I'm the founder of Listing of Freedom and the Empowered Reseller. And I help clothing resellers make more money without hustling harder. Let's get started. I'm Lee Meyer, and I've made over $100,000 flipping used clothes and other items on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And in this video, I'm gonna be diving into all of the things that I look for when I go out garage sailing for items to flip for my business. Now, because I am a clothing reseller, I'm gonna focus this video primarily on clothing and other soft goods. I do have a few other hard good items mixed in for you, but I'm gonna stay away from the tech gear and that sort of thing. Although those can be good things to pick up at garage sales, we're gonna focus instead on some other things that you can find at garage sales that are generally pretty easy to ship. Now, before we get started, I want to take a second to invite you to grab my free $100,000 brand list. This is all of the brands that I source and sell on a regular basis, and you can get that free list in the description below this video. All right, so that first thing that I always like to look for right off the bat at garage sales is for Carhartt. Now, you guys probably know by now that I love Carhartt. I love the jackets as well as the jeans, but I want to encourage you to not only go for items that are in perfect condition. These items, this brand is selling with holes, with paint stains, with fraying. And don't be afraid to go for items that have logos on them. I see so many resellers passing these by, and these are good money even if they have a company's logo on the chest. Now, the prices on coats can vary a lot depending on the style. And this is an example of one that sold for $149. They're not all gonna sell for that much, but be aware that there are different styles that will get you a different dollar amount, and make sure that you look up those comps. This is a coat that sold for $149, but they're not all going to sell for that much. A lot of times I will get these and put them on auction and see what they end up going for. And a lot of times it's more than what I would have listed for if I had listed it as fixed price. This is an example of a coat that has a logo on it. It was listed for $100, and then a best offer was accepted of $70. This is another example of a sold item where it has a logo from American Electric Products. No idea what that company is, but this one still sold for $60. We're gonna take a quick detour over to some non-clothing items, and summer season is the perfect time, garage sale season is the perfect time to pick up items that are considered out of season. People running the garage sales, wanting to get rid of stuff, have no desire to keep their Christmas stuff, Halloween stuff laying around, and so these items are usually priced very affordably because the sellers want to get rid of them. This makes the perfect opportunity for you to grab them and flip them for big profits. And I'll let you in on a little secret here. There's no need to hang on to these items. Christmas things sell year-round, Halloween things sell year-round. So grab them, get them listed, and get that money back in your pocket. One of my favorite brands to look for, especially with their Christmas items, is Pottery Barn. Now, they do make a lot of breakables, dinnerware, and these will sell for quite a bit. This is a creamer with Comet on it that sold for $25 plus shipping. And this is a plate set. This had 8 plates in it, and this one sold for a little over $100 for the set. But breakables aside, which can be more work to ship, I like to look for Pottery Barn's linen products. Now, year-round Pottery Barn linens sell well, but the Christmas items especially sell really well and for quite a bit of money. This is a tree skirt that sold for $50. And then this is a Grinch twin sheet set that sold for $80. And then this is a throw pillow that sold for $50. Now, while we're on the topic of Christmas, one of my favorite Christmas things to find, the perfect time to pick them up at garage sales when they're off season, is Department 56 collectible houses. These are probably one of the harder things to ship in this video, but I have shipped at least a dozen of these and I haven't had any issue. Just make sure that you're using lots of bubble wrap and that you've got them double boxed. This is an example of a bike shop. It was listed at $90 and a best offer was accepted for $78. Now, if you come across any Margaritaville Department 56 items, these are gold. This is a Santa that sold for $200 in used condition. Most of the houses are gonna sell for somewhere around $50 to $100. I've sold around $113 for a cinema. This is an example of a general store. This one sold for $35, and then a Harley shop that sold for $65. While we're on the topic of Christmas, let's go ahead and head back to items that are soft and easy to ship and not breakable. Again, you shouldn't have any problems if you pack them correctly. Now, an item that I like to look for as far as soft goods, Christmas related, is anything Disney. I found this huge 4-foot tall stocking with Mickey Mouse, Pluto, all of the characters, and these are selling for around $20 to $40. This is an example of one that sold for $44, and it is gonna depend on the condition. This is a Cars themed stocking that sold for $30. And then this one is a pair of Mickey and Minnie Mouse door hangers. These are about 2 feet tall, and this set sold for $60. Again, these are all soft and easy to ship. Now, I could probably spend all day just talking about Christmas items, but there's one last Christmas item that I'd like to cover, and this is Ryan Spooner. Now, Ryan Spooner is a men's brand, and they make men's Hawaiian button-up shirts. They make them for all around the year, but the Christmas ones can sell for quite a bit of money. This is an example of one that sold for $30. And again, the pricing of these items is going to depend on how unique it is, how rare it is. This is another one that sold for $54 and another one here that sold for $65. This one is a super rare print, and this one sold for a whopping $125. I always grab any and all of this brand of shirts, but you're definitely gonna want to look up those comps. Now, the other thing to be on the watch for is the tags look a little bit different than normal. This is what the normal Ryan Spooner tag looks like, but some of these Christmas items are specifically labeled as Mele Kalikimaka. I think I got that right. Hawaiian and Christmas. And so it will say that directly on the tag, and you'll want to make sure that you put that in the title of your listing. A lot of these shirts are what's known as reverse weave. And so this just means that the print is actually on the inside. So it almost looks like the shirts are inside out. The lighter color is actually going to be on the outside of the shirt. Again, there's tons of Christmas stuff that I could hit on that you're probably going to find at garage sales. But I want to go ahead and move into another topic of items, category of items that is very common to come across at garage sales, and this is uniforms. So a lot of times somebody will have a job at a certain place and they'll have a collection of all of the uniform items that they needed to wear for that job. They quit that job, they move on to a better job, whatever it is. They end up with a whole set, a whole lot of those items, and they'll throw them in the garage sale bin. And this is the perfect opportunity for you to go ahead and grab those items and turn around and sell them for a profit. Now, while these items probably aren't going to sell for $50 to $100, you probably will be able to get several of them at once because they've gotten rid of all of their pants and all of their shirts and all of their jackets. And so you can scoop in, grab them all up. And maybe even if they're the same item, same size, you could even have one listing with a multi-quantity on that. These are some examples of some items that I come across on the regular. These are Starbucks aprons. Now, these are probably only gonna sell for around $10, but if you can pick up a bunch of them at once, then it might be worth your time. Also be aware that there are certain styles of aprons that may sell for more, such as $20 to $25. Ironically, some of these are Christmas styles. Some other things to be on the lookout for are Walmart vests. These sell for around $20 to $25 depending on the condition and the size. And a couple other things that I've ran into that sell for a fair amount of money are soft shell jackets, and these could be from various fast food restaurants. I think maybe the delivery people wear them, or maybe if they're bringing things out to the car, I'm not sure. And so I've sold these soft shell jackets from Domino's. These will sell for around $25, as well as Taco Bell soft shell jackets. It's a mouthful. Those sell for around $20 to $25 as well. I also pick up McDonald's uniform items, and although these don't sell for quite as much, they sell for the $10 to $20 range, I'm usually able to get several of those items at once, so I'm able to do a multi-quantity listing and make a lot off of being able to list 5 shirts or 5 pairs of pants all at once. Garage sales are also the perfect place to be able to pick up shoes. Now, a lot of people don't want to deal with shoes. They don't want to deal with the cleaning and the pictures and the storage and the shipping, but they can sell fast and sell for quite a bit of money. You want to be on the lookout for certain brands when it comes to shoes. Now, there are tons and tons of brands. I could spend all day. I actually have a whole guide that has about 100 to 150 different brands when it comes to shoes, but some to be on the lookout for when you're out garage sailing include Red Wing. These sell for on average around $117 in used condition for the men's boots. And then Georgia boots as well. These you've probably seen. Romeo's is one of the most common styles of Georgia boots. And these sell, the brand overall sells for around $45 on average in used condition. And then also be on the lookout for items that are specific to a certain activity. They're required for a certain activity or a certain type of person is looking for them. And so one of the examples of items that falls into this category, brands that falls into this category really, is Vibram 5-finger shoes. These are minimalist running shoes. The ones with the little toes. Even in used condition, these are selling on average for $37 for the men's shoes. We talked about garage sales being the perfect time to pick up off-season Christmas items. It's also the perfect time to pick up off-season Halloween items as well. Again, that Department 56 also makes Halloween houses and Halloween decor, and so you want to be on the lookout for these as well. This is a house that sold for $85 after a best offer was accepted. And then this one is a Halloween radio station. This one was listed at $125 and then a best offer of $110 was accepted for it. You'll also want to keep your eye out for ugly Halloween sweaters as well. This is a sweater that sold for $30, and then this is a cardigan sweater that sold for $30 and another one that sold for $47. And really what you're looking for these is that they're embroidered, that they're really well made, and that they're vintage, preferably made in the USA. Garage sales are also the perfect place to pick up hats. A lot of times people have tons of hats. They're just trying to get rid of them. If you've come across any Stetson hats, these sell on average in used condition for around $70. Again, the price is going to vary based on the style as well as the size of the hat. So you want to make sure to check those comps before you purchase. And of course, vintage snapback hats are another great find. I would suggest trying to buy them in bulk. If the seller, the garage sale person has a lot of hats, you could make an offer and say, hey, I'll take all of these hats for $10 or how many ever there are, make an appropriate offer. So this is an example of a Goodyear hat. This one sold for $15. There's a Heinz that sold for $23. Big K as in Kmart that doesn't exist anymore. This sold for $15. 7-Up sold for $18. Camel hat here that sold for $20. Lastly, don't forget all of those random things. If they're in a package, if they look maybe a little bit older, go ahead and look up those comps. These are vintage pencils and erasers that I sold. They sold for around $44. And then I sold this box of golf balls that had never been used. This sold for $20. This gaming keyboard in used condition sold for $85. And then I sold this toy phone. I come across these all the time. I've actually sold like 3 of these. These will sell for $10 to $15, free shipping. And then this bike license plate set. This is a cereal set, totally random. This set sold for $70. And then also make sure that you're looking for art sets, in particular vintage art kits. These could be cross stitch, latch hook, crewel embroidery, whatever they are. If they're a set, go ahead and grab them. And chances are these are going to be selling for $20 to even upwards of $50. These are 2 small sets that I sold for $17 and they were very, very small. And the reason why I didn't get more money for them. Thanks for watching and be sure to check out the rest of my Bolo playlist where I go in depth of what to look for to flip for big profits. See you there.